Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Breakdown, a Call of Duty show where we talk everything from players, matches, tournaments, roster drama, roster changes, you name it. We'll break it down for you. I'm Methodz, Scump.
I'm Scump. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously, we had a little bit of a hiccup earlier. We didn't intend for a breakdown to happen before the official breakdown took place, but we can't always have what we want. And we've been working pretty hard, so basically our OBS just crashed. We have so many different scenes and stuff and graphics that were put into OBS that I think it just crashed OBS. Our computer usage spiked to like 100%.
Yeah.
Wasn't ideal. I think we had
I think over 120,000, I think we heard.
I think we had 100,000 plus viewers, and we had some technical difficulties, but the team, myself, Zin, we've kind of been
marinating.
I mean, we've been tweaking.
Yeah.
For the past like hour and a half.
Well, because sometimes we get those mini Fs, and we think it's just like a short drop, and then it was a little longer, and I was like, yo, it's an actual F, and we tried going back on, but we got to the point where the team was like, you know what, we should scrap the watch party. We're gonna focus on the breakdown, and now we're here. So a big thank you to the team, and also OpTic with a big win over FaZe. So the boys taking that win was most important.
Yeah.
We heard them screaming, and obviously we would have loved to watch along, but
we did watch. We were watching. Obviously, we just didn't have our live reaction, but we were watching. The boys came out. I mean, we said congrats and stuff. We were kind of vibe killed.
Well, they didn't really know what was going on either.
They didn't,
because they walked out and we're kind of just like chilling on our phones, and they were just like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "Yeah, we went down." And
they came out and thought that they were gonna hop on the couch for an interview, and we were. I was sitting on the back wall, like under where our graphic is, just with my phone in my hand, losing full. Yeah. But we congratulated them. Huge win over FaZe. But yeah, let's hop into our first segment of the show, the first official breakdown segment. I think we have, how many do we have? I will tell you how many we have here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have seven segments. 7 total segments. The first one basically is our breakdown team of the week. But for this one, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be our team of the major since we are starting 3 weeks into the split. We're going to be doing team of the major instead of team of the week. Moving forward, it will probably just be team of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah, not probably. It will be team of the week. But who do you think deserves to be on it, Zin? We have a lot of good players out there.
I know.
You can keep talking. You can keep talking over that.
Can I?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, welcome to the Breakdown Team of the Week. We've obviously had quite the stage so far. Today was the end of the online qualifiers, and we've seen a lot of players go above and beyond, and a lot of those players played today. So without further ado, why don't we get started with our first player?
Let's talk a little bit. I mean, just to let you guys know, we do encourage that you guys in the chat let us know if you agree or disagree with our team of the major. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of clashing opinions. We have stats to back everything up, so I think we did a pretty good job. Without further ado, drum roll me in. Our first
Ladies and gentlemen, the first player on the Breakdown Team of the Week is
none other than Pred. This guy has been an absolute beast since he's came into the league. Rookie of the year last year, and he hasn't missed a step really this year. Obviously, there were some rumors about him joining our team.
Yeah.
And they kind of struggled a little bit, but during this stage, this kid has been absolutely unbelievable. We saw him today against NY, and the kid looked unreal.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players where even when the team isn't performing, he's still frying. And now that the team is finding more success, it's standing out more than ever. Today, he had a big 40 bomb in that control, and not many players have dropped 40 this year. Right now, we see his stats. He has a 1.18 in hardpoint in this stage, a 1.11 in search, and a 1.17 in control. And
he's the best Aussie
to ever do it,
and our favorite Aussie. Is he the best Aussie to ever do it?
What's good, bro?
He has to be, right? The most gifted that we've seen so far.
He's made the biggest splash, right? Like we had Mind Freak back when we had Shocks, Dens. There's obviously been great Australians, but I think he burst onto the scene with the Rookie of the Year. He won a championship, and everybody's been talking about him ever since. So I think he's far and away the best Aussie. Sorry, Dens, I love you, but the first member of the team of the week is Pred.
None other than Pred. Second. We're gonna do it in order. We're gonna bring out our second submachine gun player. I don't know how people are going to react to this one, but we've got Hydra. I mean,
I hope you react positively because watching this kid play is honestly a pleasure. I mean, he puts himself in situations. First off, he puts himself in great situations, but even when he finds himself in ones where you're like, oh, he's dead, he'll somehow pop 2 and find himself out of position.
Sometimes even pop more than 2. The kid will pop 3, and you're just like, dude, how did you just do that? I mean, I know a lot of people always say that we ride Hydra, but
I mean, the kid's good.
The kid is insane. I think ever since last year, he's been consistently one of the best subs in the game, and I don't think it's any outlier for him to be on this team of the week. The kid's been frying throughout the whole major. He has a 1.2 in hardpoint, 1.12 in search and destroy, and a 1.14 in control, and he's the French phenom.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in, and a lot of people talked about his communication and how he would sound and if he could fit into a pro team, and I think he proved everybody wrong when they said no, right? Because even me, I'm sure I was one of those people who said, like, that's a pretty big barrier, and he is legitimately one of the best players in the world. I can't imagine being his parents where, 1 minute your son's with you in France, the next minute he's one of the best players in the Call of Duty League playing for
maybe the best.
New York. Yeah, he's up there.
Maybe the best sub in the game. I know a lot of people have their opinions on it, but I rate him very highly. But let's move on. We've got the 2 subs slotted in. So now we need a flex player.
Who is it? It is none other than the Worm, Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo. This kid is an absolute pleasure to watch. He's the front runner for me for Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's even close at the moment.
Right now it's not close.
The kid's been phenomenal. He's a great personality. He brings a lot of flair to his gameplay, and he obviously likes to talk smack. But the thing about him is he does it against any team. It doesn't matter who it's against. It's a breath of fresh air for the Call of Duty community to have someone come in and be like him. He's like a McGregor.
Yeah.
He comes in, he just talks shit to people. I mean, he talks shit to us. He talks shit to everybody. So I respect it. 1.1 in hardpoint, 1.12 in search, 1.24 in control. And our favorite for Rookie of the Year. We have to clarify that he is a standout player for us in Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, and a player like him is good for the scene because not only is he talking trash in every single match, he's backing it up. Like, he's going out there and he's still frying. Even in some of their losses, he's still putting up numbers. So everybody kind of expected him to take the league by storm, but he's easily becoming one of the biggest personalities in the CDL. So, Scrap, keep talking that shit, and welcome to the team of the week.
We might be seeing him soon.
We might
be seeing him soon. But let's round out our team of the major thus far. They fell a little bit short today against the boys, but you got to tip the cap to none other than Thanos.
The Fat in the Hat Slasher.
Again, they fell a little short to us today. Thankfully, again, the stream went down during that last map. But he's been absolutely insane. There were a lot of not rumors, but just questions about him when he first joined the team. A lot of pressure on him to replace Alec and really take on that leadership role for FaZe. And I think he was kind of trying to settle into that. But this major, his stats speak for themselves. He's been an absolute breakout player for that team. He's just been phenomenal. I mean, he's been great in search, and we'll see his stats here in a second. But the kid he's been putting on for sure.
Yeah, and I want to mention search, right? Because a lot of people talk about FaZe, and you look at Celium, Simp, and Abizi, and a lot of people say anybody can slot in for that roster. But if you compare this team this year to their last year roster,
I don't think that stage 3 search KD is right.
No, but
he had a 1.8 going into today.
Yeah, but they're
actually we have the stats right here. So let's just take a look at that just to confirm. Yeah. Slasher right now, search and destroy, KD. He's at a 1.82. I don't know if that counts today, but
that's a good search, KD.
Going into today, he had a 1.82 with 21% first blood rate, 0.94 kills around. I mean,
if you compare it to last year, they set the record this year for the most consecutive search map wins. This team is night and day different when it comes to search and destroy, and they come out with a Major 2 championship mostly due to their search and destroy gameplay. So shout out to Austin. A lot of people, with a roster like that, you kind of – everyone's talking about Cell and Simp and Abizi, and Slasher can sometimes fall under the radar, but his leadership and his search prowess cannot go unnoticed.
So just to kind of – put away some of the naysayers that might disagree with our final team of the week. We have a 1.24 from Pred. He's number 1 right now. We have a 1.21 from Slasher. He's number 2. Scrap is number 3 with a 1.19 overall. Hydra is number 4 with a 1.18. So the stats speak for themselves. That's our team of the major thus far. I think all of those guys deserve it.
Yep.
And they've been playing lights out. So let's see how they perform at our major coming up. It's gonna be a fun one for sure. But that's our first segment.
That's the breakdown team of the week, man. Listen, it's very tough to put together a roster of 4 players in a competitive league like this. These guys went above and beyond all stage, in our opinion. Of course, you can make arguments for different players. A lot of players played well, but these guys were constantly popping pieces, winning their team's games.
I know a lot of people in the chat right now are saying, where are all the OpTic players? Because they obviously played lights out today. A couple of them were right there. Kyler and Ant were literally right there. I mean, you just have to give the credit where it's due. You know, you can't really show too much favoritism here. And those guys all deserve it. But let's move on into our next segment, the 1v2.
Scrap.
What's going on? Yo, I can't see you guys. You can hear me?
What's good,
I
kid?
see you, dude. I see that skyline behind you.
So we had Scrap waiting a little bit. We apologize for that. Again, we had a very, very
stressful day. Eventful day.
Very stressful day. But your day was probably not so stressful. Just walk us through a little bit about your day so far. What have you been doing?
Yeah, so, I woke up maybe around like 1 p.m., chilling, typical gamer sleep schedule. Had to warm up New York before their match, got put on the Dallas server, a quick 40 ping versus 3 ping. It was a bit rough, but yeah, I've just been watching some good matches today.
No way they cheesed my man. But I just want to say really quickly, before we get into some more questions, congrats for making team of the major. I mean, you've been playing lights out, and we got a lot of respect for you here, so keep doing your thing. But I think Zin's got a question for you.
Listen, my fellow Jersey boy, we want to know about sort of how you came up, right? Obviously, you're new to the CDL, and everyone's talking about your dumbass. So curious, we both grew up kind of in the same scene, right? The local NJ Halo scene. Tell everybody about how you got started, I guess.
Yeah, so just like Zin said, we grew up. I grew up going to locals since I was probably 11 and a half, so about 9 years now that I've been playing, grinding, trying to get to where I am now. Playing S&D tournaments before I was 18, playing wagers, streaming a bunch, just trying to get my name on the map and just show people my talent and my skill. And then when I turned 18 in Cold War, I just kind of took off from there. And, I didn't really have a great first season, you could say, in Challengers, but I kind of turned it around in Vanguard, and now we're here.
I was pissing on you in Challengers, actually. I was playing you in Challengers, and I was pissing on you.
Zane, you were awful.
Dude, no, I was playing musical chairs with sub AR. I didn't know what the hell was going on, bro. We played at the major. I didn't know what gun I was running before the series, bro.
Yeah. That's what they all say, but it is what it is.
But you've been incredibly impressive. We've been gassing you up. You're our rookie of the year so far.
Don't gas him up after that bullshit that's come out of his mouth.
I'm still gonna gas him up. It's all love. Yeah. It's all love. I got 30. I'm
a one-time major land champion.
It's all love at the end of the day. But talk a little bit about your mindset coming from Challengers and now being in the CDL and on a very good team in the CDL. What's the difference? Just from your mental standpoint?
In Challengers, it's kind of a lot of players would probably say that it's probably harder than the league. Not because of the players so much the skill level, but it's kind of how the game is played. So I knew that if I could fry in Challengers and just become the best player in Challengers, just fry everyone, just kind of play the game correctly to the point where Challengers players really can't, and just be super confident because I know how good I am, then I'm unstoppable because no one can gun me. And, when those high stretch situations that my brain is too smart for some people. So, some people just can't mess with me. And that's where my confidence comes from. It comes from gun skill. It comes from straight skill.
I love that about you,
you are
man.
Dumb, man. I mean,
Jersey boy.
You got it firsthand. Trust me.
Listen. I'm gonna talk to you about the roster change, right? Because obviously there was a lot of talk around Sandy and moving him to the bench because A lot of people would say Stanley's one of those superstar potential players. He has a pretty high ceiling. Hicksy comes in. We've heard listen-ins. He's pretty vocal. I guess talk to us through the roster change. Maybe explain, if you can, why it was made and how it's looking so far.
Yeah, so I think playing with Eli, I've said in the interview, we had some great ups and we had some low lows. And I just think that, with Toby, we didn't really need a Slayer-type player, which I think Eli is. Eli definitely didn't get dropped for anything skill-related. The kid's a beast, and he definitely is a league talent. But I just think that we need to make a change kind of just for a kind of a role, not a role, it was just, I needed Toby to just start flying at people.
Yeah, a pacing.
And I felt like Hicksy just and Charlie just lets Toby just fly and do him and do what everyone knows Toby can do. It also enables me to do much better, helps us around the map, gets me in better positions, gets Jamie in better positions. And also Charlie is also a beast in himself. So he makes our team from it was a 93 overall to a 97, 98, 99. So
all right.
I love to hear that, man.
That's good gas.
Yeah, that's great gas coming for your teammate. You always love to hear that. But we all know you like to talk shit. Where did that come from? And are there any teams specifically in the league that you want to beat more than other teams, or is it just everybody can get that smoke?
It comes from just how I grew up, bro. I grew up in Jersey. It's just, people don't really care about each other there, so it's a free for all. It's a free for all, and I'm gonna defend myself, and I'm gonna let you also know that I'm way better than you. But there's definitely teams that are more you want to beat more. OpTics are going up there. They have a massive fan base that you just. When you slam them, they just all get, a bit butthurt. And it's good to, it's good to see the tweets come in. It's good, even when you lose, bro. It's a funny thing. So, OpTic's up there. Any of the bigger teams are always fun because I guess just the bigger the fan base, it's better beating them because, you just love when you get the tweet. I love getting tweets. I love just having you're terrible after I just slam someone.
So you're a sick guy.
Yeah,
get there.
He's got a strong mental.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
He has a strong mental, but you're a sick guy. You're sitting there grinning at your Twitter mentions when everyone just on your ass.
They're feeding into it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that actually brings me to our last question. You're coming to the OpTic Texas Major this upcoming weekend. I guess tell everybody at home what it's like playing in front of the crowd, and especially the green wall. Obviously, we're going to be in Texas, and things are going to get loud. So is that something that you feed off, whether they're booing or cheering?
Yeah. I mean, booing, cheering, cursing at me, telling me they want to fight me, anything, bro. I want it all. I want all the smoke. At Major 1, it was a bit dead. Seth, I know you were like, yo, where's the crowd at, bro? We're getting smoked.
I mean, we didn't really make it too far, so.
Major 3, it's going to be a fun time.
Hell yeah, it always is. Scrap, thank you so much for joining us. Keep it up. You got a fan in me. I love watching you play. I love the shit talk. It makes it really entertaining, so keep up the good work, man. And
I'll see that long neck in Texas.
Thank you for joining us on the first. For the first 1v2. Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
Smoke. End it.
You are literally terrible, and I can carry you around like a surfboard, like Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. I could just grab you in my hand, and I can walk around the Texas Major with you in my hand.
All right.
Now get off my screen, dude. Now get the hell off my screen. Well, that was the 1v2.
The first 1v2, I think we got one of the best that we could have got on for the first 1v2.
Yeah, Ernie.
Yeah, Scrap's a great personality. Again, he likes to talk shit. He likes to keep it serious, but not too serious, because that shit talk is not always serious. Sometimes
listen, man, it's something the league needs because it adds this extra component, right? Not only for people to watch and have fun, but also it creates rivalries, right? I'll use Shotzi as an example. Like we saw in the process, Shotzi had some choice words. Toronto beats OpTic. Scrappy had some choice words. And now there's a little bit more there where when you're going to watch OpTic versus Toronto, there's a little more to think about.
Just a little bit.
Tiny bit.
And I hope that they play at the Major because that'll be a good one.
That'd be sick.
Next up, we're getting into our analytical segment of the show. We have the Deep Dive.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Like he said, we're going to break down a few of these maps from today. We're going to specifically focus on the OpTic Texas versus FaZe Hardpoint maps because that series today, first off, was insane, and obviously there was so much on the line. OpTic had to win that match to secure winner's bracket for the home major.
Correct.
They're actually able to get it done in these hard points were crazy. The hotel hard point gets close and
comes down to 3 points.
Yeah,
250, 247. It was a grade
yep.
A bang out. So let's pan on over to hotel. So just to forewarn you guys a little bit, it might be a little bit choppy at times. Again, we're still working on some things, so it should be smooth most of the time. But if it is a little bit choppy, bear with us. So we're gonna be breaking down 2 maps, start to finish today. And that's really it. That's what the deep dive is. So whenever you're ready, let's hop into it.
Let's get into it. Hotel hardpoint.
Let's lock in. It's time to lock in. We've had a little bit of fun so far. Now it's lock-in time, ladies and gentlemen.
And this match got crazy, but I will say OpTic was kind of in the driver's seat for like a good portion of this map, and then it got close. But Kyler's going to break off here to Ruggs. This is a very standard SMG break. Brandon finds a big 2-piece. The break was perfect.
The break was perfect.
Starting on the bad side.
So right here, Riley, just make sure it's at 60 frames, just a shout. But so right here, FaZe starts on the good side of the map. And you kind of expect them to win that break and secure some of that P1 time, and that's kind of, they don't really win the break. The break's a little bit scrappy, and
I'm not talking Ernie.
And I'm not talking Ernie. And they kind of rotate into this P2, and they do get a decent initial setup, but this is a win for us right here, because we do end up breaking some of this P1 time, and it just gives us a chance to break P2, but we get some of that time and split with them off the rip. I mean, it gets bad when it's 30 seconds down, FaZe is up 30, and they have a P2 rotation because they end up winning the break.
Yeah, so looking at the P2 rotation, right, just look at FaZe's setup. You have Austin pushed out in Jules or Shop, whatever you call that, in that deep left room. You have number 7 on that God desk. That's a BZ. Number 5 is going to get hill time. That's Cell, and he's definitely snaking those stairs. He's going to get hill time from that staircase.
Number
6
the
is
snakes
pushed out desks over here deep left. So FaZe has a pretty good setup.
I mean,
so the goal, if you're OpTic here, is you want to isolate Austin because he's the first person you need to take care of. That guy needs to die.
This is a perfect setup out of FaZe. Austin's kind of on a little bit of an island by himself, and you can go ahead and play this. We kind of see what happens to the setup.
I mean, some incredible shots from Kyler here. I remember my reaction. I was like, Jesus, those are some good shots. And now they're going to try breaking from the red door area, which I feel like a lot of teams tend to try breaking from the red door area, right? Like you want to come from broken. It's very hard to come through that mid door and even desks because you have such like a narrow lane with so many head glitches to look at.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we paused moving forward, by the way, because after that pause, it came out a little bit tweaky. But yeah.
Okay.
So FaZe, I mean, they get a good initial hold. That red side is definitely favored, and I think it is the best place to break that hill from. I mean, you have a big door, you can wrap around the back, you can use your numbers, try to work that guy in the back because he's usually going to chow off the back stairs. So we actually end up breaking. Great break out of us. We played this map great the first half of the game. It gets a little bit sketchy on the second half, but we win this rotation over to Kitchen, or not yet, but just him getting one here and buying time is huge. Because
Daniel.
You see that collapse come in instantly.
Yeah, I mean, Dan makes one, and you'd think that FaZe would maybe like be able to secure that rotation, but no. Brandon's in this corner, and as soon as he finds 2 and gets that trophy down, I know we're in a pretty good spot. We're about to get a fresh 4 down, and now, I mean, you're in the best position possible. You're holding that P3. You have head glitches. Sayyum throws a stun at the door. And OpTic can just sit corners and force FaZe in.
Well, so what I was going to say is that FaZe, whenever they have numbers there, it's obviously a lot harder to realize whenever you're in the moment during the match. But they get numbers there on that rotation. They don't know that they have them, but I feel like they should have known that they had them. They let Ghosty get that first kill, and then they sort of take their time in the back, and then it allows Shotzzy to come in and pinch them and shoot them in the back. But they do end up breaking in, getting scrap time, but this is great for us right here. This is like best case scenario.
Yeah.
Forfeit the last 15, win a row. The fundamental hard point that I saw from the team today compared to their last series against New York was night and day. It was not the same team. They were committing to their rotations. But on a map like Hotel, it kind of forces you to commit to the rotations.
Yeah.
You can't really play scrap time as heavy as like a Mercado or like a Hydro. You know, it kind of forces you into those rotations.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan also makes a big fight there in the back because if he loses that, his guy Goddesk, Shotzzy here, is going to get pinched from the back stairs as well. So Brandon makes a big one before getting traded out. OpTic still has spawns, so they're spawning Spa, and they could flood quick. Number 5 is actually going to spawn behind them now, but OpTic get a good chunk of time on that. I'm okay with trading a 30 as long as you have the rotation to do.
Yeah. I mean, of course. And again, you kind of see FaZe. We're just going back and forth, trading this time, and they end up getting this 20 seconds, but at what cost? We're keeping all of these hills scrappy, and we're also rotating at the same time. So you see 3 and 4 on the minimap. In their minds, they're like, okay, there's 10 seconds left. Let's just stay here, get this rotation. All of FaZe is at ult. All 4 of them.
Correct. And then they have full map control, right? They can sit in time, they can snake the headies, they can stay pushed out shop. FaZe sort of has to go break a pretty tough setup. Ghosty throws his life there. I would like to see Dan maybe play his life in kitchen, be a harder kill, even get weak and run back, just for safety. Because now it gets a little sketchy, right? They know kitchen's open. Luckily, Brandon finds 2, but now it's just a trade battle, whereas we could have played our lives a little better.
Well, I see that a lot. Like, AR players on this rotation going into this diner hill, like, they'll play outside of kitchen, and more times than not, they're either getting killed without getting a single kill, or they're just instantly getting traded. Both scenarios are bad for the team that's trying to hold, because then you don't know if someone's pinching from the double side of the map, the double arches, and then you see now FaZe starts to get those kitchen spawns for next, and this is where things can start to get a little hairy.
Yeah, so right now the score is great for OpTic, but looking at the minimap right now, FaZe is definitely in the driver's seat to take the lead here. I mean, you have back kitchen area, you have the back spawns. Luckily, Kyler finds 2 at ult, which is huge, because if OpTic gets wiped there, you're spawning out again, and you give FaZe even more time to get a setup. Ant slips through the back, and now we're going to flip spawns to FaZe coming front, which is obviously optimal, right? On this hill, you want your opposition spawning in that spot area, forced to cross bed, and even cut mid and come through that mid court. So OpTic, once again, with a great rotation.
Yeah, I mean, this was best case scenario. Ant slips through the cracks, bottom bed, ends up killing Cell for free, basically. They don't really get any info on the back stairs, and we end up breaking those spawns. But right as soon as he does that, I mean, FaZe, it's a talented team, a very talented team. So we always talk about getting punished in respawns and stuff against some of the better top echelon teams. And FaZe is just one of those teams that's going to punish you every single time. And they just break through the front at will. You see Celium start to win some good gunfights. I mean, this was a battle today. And the team handled it, I mean, just about as good as you could.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe did not dominate OpTic like they've been dominating the rest of the stage. Like, FaZe has looked lights out besides their loss against Thieves. So I'm proud of the guys, right? Celium's having a great map at 18 and 13. They just have so many different players that can pop off at any given moment. We saw a BZ pop off so many different times. Like, they literally have, on paper, a star-studded roster. So we played this incredibly well today.
And I want to add one thing before we get back into kind of the analytics and breaking it down. People got to chill on the OpTic rosters after one bad series. It is actually insane. I went on Reddit last night after their series, and every single post was negative. I get that it's easy to turn around quickly and be like, this team has no hope. This team looked like shit this series, which it's going to happen, guys. This is one of the most day-to-day Call of Duties that I think I've ever played personally and I've ever watched personally. You see teams, it's impossible to call series, and I mean, you see it again today. Everyone had FaZe winning today.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a huge team like OpTic, I think everybody sort of just grasps for straws, and they're looking for something to blame. Like, this player did this player did this change did this. It's a very competitive league. You're not going to win them all. You're playing pretty much top teams in every single match. You got to have a short-term memory if you're them and go into each match with that same confidence and block out the noise, because it can obviously get annoying and frustrating, but you have to give the guys the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like obviously when it comes to OpTic, it's just everyone's so quick
amplified
to jump to a conclusion and a change. This. You got to give the team time.
Yeah, and right
like
here,
today.
Yeah, I just want to point out, FaZe gets a good hold on this P2, but again, we're just making these hills so damn scrappy every time. You see Shotzi get in through red door, he just lays down on dark corner heady and just plays his life. Lays there, gets 1 kill, ends up popping a 2-piece, and all of that contest time is huge. When you have a 60-point lead like this, all you have to do is stay ahead of the rotation and win 1 rotation, and you basically seal the game. And that's not what happens. Here we're ahead of the rotation. I don't really exactly remember what happens here. We do have a listen-in. Do we want to listen to the listen-in?
I mean, I want to listen, but at the same time, I think this is when Brandon pops the huge 3-piece and the boys just got a big hold, and this is when it was looking like a pretty clear-cut game. And we'll see if the game pans out that way. We obviously know, but if you're watching for the first time, you'll have to wait and see. Kyler's playing exactly how he should. He kind of gets put in a weird position here, but I like how he plays his life for as long as possible, right? Like, he could have died 3 seconds earlier. Even buying 3 seconds at this level is very important.
It's huge.
FaZe gets a big break, but we're spawning in a spot where Ant gets a big nade kill, thankfully, and we can just flood Hill and sort of overpower him here.
And Sale, I mean, talk about someone with good form. I believe this is where Brandon gets that huge three-piece.
There's
Just
Bruce.
Bust this wide open. Can I get a Roos in the chat, please? The guy goes absolutely massive. That scrap time is so big at this point in the game. He just has a huge three-piece. Brandon had a lights-out series today. Shouts out to him.
And their comms. I mean, let's just talk about the way the team sounded today. I mean, every single player was stepping up, including Brandon. He's, we're spawning out front. They can spawn here. Ghosty was screaming, and we can hear the boys getting hyped from the watch party couch. So everybody stepping up in the communication aspect. Like, it is incredible to see this level of passion and confidence, even after a loss yesterday and everybody being on their case.
Everybody.
So the boys knew how important this one was, and they played like it. But FaZe is obviously not out of this one yet, so it's still a battle.
Yeah, this hill has kind of turned into an absolute just brawl. I mean, this hill specifically on this map, there's not really many bang-out hills on this map. This one has kind of turned into it. It's really just throwing bodies at the hill. I think there is a preferred side to spawn on, but I don't think that it's a crazy advantage because the subs close the distance on the front of the hill, and they can kind of just camera whoever's in that left corner, or if they're not in the left corner, they just swing wide and kill the guy right. But it's just been an absolute bang out to this point. And we go into this diner rotation, and it looks good for a second here. It looks like we're about to just close the game, and that is not the case, obviously.
Yeah, no, definitely it gets a little hairy as Brandon breaks in, but Cell's playing his life. I mean, that's a player who is a very hard kill on the map to begin with, and he's just outweighing Brandon. Luckily, Ant comes through with an amazing two-piece. Dan finds one, and
right here I think it's over. Right here I think this map is over. So it's a little bit awkward because Dan has to watch his back rugs to make sure nobody's pinching it, but they just got 3 dead and nobody ends up hitting it. So he kind of gets made useless on the hill because he's watching a lane that nobody hits. And FaZe just breaks right back in. And even at this point, I think we're good. Because we still have back kitchen spawn. We're still in the driver's seat here to win this map.
Yep.
I mean...
That's an ad break. So there's...
We did not think about that.
We didn't think about ad block. So don't worry about the ad. We're going to... It's 15 seconds of downtime. We got some beautiful birds from flamingos. Taking flight. This vacation?
First show, we had a big wrench in the watch party earlier. We've been running all over this place like headless chickens, and we didn't download ad block.
Listen, I think we go to Florida for vacation, but let's get back into it. Abizi, this kid's a pain in the ass. He's going to find 2.
He drops 41 this map.
Yeah, so we thought it'd be a pretty clear-cut map after some of these rotations, but you can never count FaZe out. And here's when I kind of started to shit my pants. FaZe breaks the back. They can win off this new hill, assuming they get time quickly, which Celium does. So we have to contest for a few seconds, but this reminded me of the last time we played them.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna bring that up. Last time we played them, it came down to an absolute grade A bang out on this plat hill, and we get the same exact thing this time, but it doesn't end here. FaZe breaks through the back. Right here, I was shitting my pants. I was like, there's no way. Because I got to be honest, if we lose this map, Elasillo's coming up next.
Yeah.
It starts to look like we're going to need another reverse sweep.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the boys hold on. It becomes just so mixy here at the end. Thankfully, I knew we were going to contest and go to the P1 just because there wasn't too much time left on it. They couldn't win mathematically. And... yeah, I mean, take it away.
But, I mean, just look. Like, P1 even gets sketchy here because we're still hitting all time. I don't necessarily think I agree with hitting it with how late we hit that. I'd rather just set up and maybe try to get some diner control, some kitchen control, just get into some power positions. Nonetheless, we put them – it's a pretty, I guess, even spot here. It's like we got to make kills. They got to make kills. Abizi calls the streak. Cell and Simp combine for 2. So there it gets sketchy, but Brandon get with a big nade kill. And at this point, when you have – 2 teammates dead, your goal is to keep your opponents off the point.
Yeah, I just want to highlight Brandon here. He's double arches watching over Ghosty. Ghosty's just snaking for his dear life. Brandon gets a huge 2-piece. This is the kill right here. The kill by Shotzi main buys time. That guy would have got a 2-piece on Brandon probably because Brandon was weak and he knew where he was if he doesn't win that gunfight.
Yep.
Kyler comes into hill. I don't even know how Brandon killed that guy Beacon. And that's the map. That was the whole series right there in my personal opinion. if we lose that map again, Elasillo, FaZe was 10-2 going into that map today, and they were on an 11-game search and destroy win streak.
Yeah.
So we lose that map again. We're looking at a reverse sweep, or we're just going to have to reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's also incredible for team confidence, right? Like, you get 3-0 by New York, you're starting to think a little bit like, damn, like we've gotten 3-0 by Toronto, 3-0 by New York. What's going on here? Because I know their practice goes great. So this first map sets the precedent, and it just gives everybody that extra confidence that they need for this series. Like, okay, yesterday, water under the bridge, we're fucking back.
Yeah. I mean, this is just a huge series going into the major.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we lose to New York. I'm sure the team is a little bit deflated after that. Confidence might be a little bit low, but they bounce back next day and they take on the best team in the game at the moment. I don't think we can really argue that. Riley, should we do one more map deep dive? What do we think?
Did we do one more? Up to us? I think we do the Mercado Hardpoint, man. I mean, this series was huge. We unfortunately didn't get to watch this map with everybody watching at home.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Because the watch party dropped.
We didn't get to watch it, so let's...
Before I do, I want to say an insane control performance from OpTic today. They win 3-0 versus a very strong control team. OpTic has not looked good at all in control, and it's scary to play a team like FaZe who is so good at search and control because they kind of have a guaranteed second and third game mode versus both teams.
Yeah.
It goes to show that OpTic was obviously aware that this was one of their weaknesses. They've been in the lab. They've been working hard, and you can't ask for a better team to be in control in that type of fashion going into the home major.
No, to 3-0 FaZe in control, I mean, that's never going to be easy. FaZe has looked great in control. I think they were 9-5 today on Hotel going into the map. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were. So, I mean, they're winning it twice, losing it once for the most part. OpTic, even when I was on the team, we were kind of struggling in control. And today, whenever they needed it most, I mean, that swing map was huge because, again, I was scared if we went to a Game 5 with FaZe. As good as our search has been throughout the year, especially since picking up Kyler, FaZe is, again, on a 12-game win streak now in Search and Destroy after beating us on Map 2. I mean...
They are a scary search team.
Very scary. Go ahead. Let's start the map.
Mercado Hardpoint. We saw some crazy moments. Obviously, we were still watching. Once again, if you were watching with us on the watch party, apologies. Was obviously, as he said, we did not plan for a breakdown before the breakdown, but nonetheless, a crazy map here. We're also starting on good side, which is huge. Mercado is one of those maps where if you can win the break in a pretty dominant fashion and spawn trap them 10, you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. So we start on the good side, and this was something that I kept highlighting during the watch party, obviously before we unfortunately crashed, was this is our opportunity right here. We have FaZe 2-1 against the ropes. We're starting on the good side, which is green side on this map. We have the advantage in this final map, and the boys come out. We don't even really get to watch the back half of the game because we were absolutely tweaking. But they come out and they play this map phenomenal from what I was watching. Ahead of rotations, big breaks. I mean, everything that you need to do on this map. Ant making a just heads-up play here, holding this green control. Look how annoying he's being.
I mean, he's literally Spider-Man here. I mean, Jesus.
And we might be seeing something like that in just a little bit in one of our later segments. I don't want to give away too much. I'm sure you guys have seen some of them on the left side of the screen. But yeah, this is textbook. They get a nice hold on that P1 hill, and they hold the rotation for green, and FaZe is in a rough spot here. They're forced to break.
I mean, you can't ask for a better situation, right? You're spawning that back barber alley. You can stun nade over that roof and land them on hedge.
Just
so
like
right now, like, FaZe is getting bombarded. Of course, they have trophies, but the trophies only block so much. So OpTic's coming off spawn. They're attack spamming. We get a clean wipe here, and I believe we take the lead like 78-0 off the break, which, I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, you can't ask for a better swing of events than starting off 80-0 against a team like FaZe.
It is the ideal scenario, map 4, to go up 78-0 or whatever it ends up being. Obviously, we've seen crazy comebacks in the past, but to put a team on the back foot that early, especially a team like FaZe, you kind of got to hit them and hit them hard. Yeah. And whenever you do hit them, you got to keep them down. You don't want to ever give them like that gasp of air to get back up and get a breath of fresh air to come back into it. But FaZe, this is their opportunity on this P3 tin hill. You see they get a clean rotation, and this is their chance to claw back in.
Yeah, and The thing with FaZe is I feel like a lot of teams, when they play FaZe, they kind of slow down a bit and don't bring the pressure to FaZe, and we did not do that today. Like, OpTic brought the pressure. They were fighting. They were confident, and that's the way you have to play against FaZe. You have to match their confidence, their energy, because as soon as you start meeting them halfway and start taking those fights, it's not something that they're used to all the time, because a lot of teams really take a step back and play like a tad slower against them.
And Riley, can we just make sure it's on 60 frames just to...
Yeah, once again, we apologize if it's choppy.
We're going to fix it for the next one. So this one, we're basically broadcasting it through like 3 different softwares, but I think Raj said next time we're going to try to get everything hardwired, so it's a much smoother feed. So just bear with us just for this one. And yeah, so right here we're rotating to the Zig Hill P4. This hill has kind of turned into a bang out as well. You see an unfortunate team nade, but we should still maintain those spawns because we just have bodies over here. Actually, we get a pinch spawn, which also isn't bad as long as we win a couple of these initial gunfights.
Yeah, right now it's kind of just a dogfight, right? It's just player versus player. You got to hopefully make some kills, throw your attacks. Brandon finds a big 2. The problem is Selim's back alley. He answers back with 2. So it's going to get scrappy, but this is... I feel like on Mercado there are so many hills where if you get control of them, the way the spawns work, you can kind of just trap the team, right? Like, they're going to be forced to come through mid and gate or take a long route all the way around green. FaZe ends up getting the scrap time, but Mercado's a very punishing map, especially when you get to that P5, P6 area.
Yeah, so again, this is one of those maps that forces you to kind of rotate, but it's a lot scrappier than Hotel is whenever you're looking at those last 30 seconds of hills. That's the scrap time on this map can add up really, really quickly, just because most of the time teams are leaving like 20 seconds because they're hard rotating, because again, this map is so punishing if you don't stay ahead of the game. I mean, especially against a team like FaZe, you get behind in this, you're running into Simp, Cell, Abizi, Slasher. It's just impossible. And right here, great rotation out of the boys to this P5 Tin Hill again.
Let me highlight Shotzi. He gets a big 2-piece, but he finds Slasher, who actually spawns on that dumpster.
Did he get that spawn?
Yeah, so I don't think they were accounting for that. Luckily, Ant sniffs him out. I'm not sure if it was sound, intuition, luck, whatever it is. Ant finds the kill, and now we are in, once again, a good position here to hold this time.
Yeah, great position here. Let me give some gas to Ant. I mean, that guy absolutely took the fuck over on this map. I think he ends up dropping close to 30, basically goes double positive, and at the end of the game, we're going to see another highlight play from the kid. I mean, he's basically a walking highlight reel. We talk about top subs in the league, and he's right up there with all of them. I mean, this guy, any given day, he comes out, he's a magician on the map.
And let me also say, he kind of like took, I think, your role as the face of the league, one of the faces of the league.
And it's a dumb one.
He's dumb.
He's
but
dumb.
He is getting, he has a microscope on him, where every bad play he makes is highlighted and talked about maybe more than the average player. And every great play he makes is also going to be highlighted and put under a spotlight. So he's under a microscope, and I think he's dealing with it well. He's putting in the time streaming. He's doing content, and he's also playing like this against what everybody considers right now the best team in the world. So
yeah,
shout out to Ant. I mean, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders right now.
So, I mean, right here, again, kind of just textbook. So we rotate early. FaZe does a good job, and again, it's one of those strengths of FaZe. I mean, I don't know exactly what their stats are on break percentage on some of these maps, but I assume that they're pretty damn high with a sub-duo like an Abizi and Simp. You see them kind of just break into that top green hill, which is P6, and the rotation's on. So I actually love the way 2 and 4 are playing this. They're basically bottlenecking them through that back alley. There's only that Zig doorway or the back heady. This is a great rotation out of them, and I think this is kind of where they start to climb and run away with this game here with a decent hold.
I love how tight they're playing on this RV hill too, right?
Yeah, look
Number
at
4 is
Kyler.
going to play his life on time. Unfortunately, Cell gets that pick, but number 1's not Godheady. Number 2 is playing a cruddy corner, and right now Ant's just good. Right now his goal, play his life for as long as possible, find another kill if possible, but be a nuisance. Right here, we're spawning out T. This is honestly FaZe in the better position here because you're forced to flood through this garage or T area. But right now your goal is to obviously break or make it mixy or just trying to contest some of this time.
I mean, again, you kind of just see what we're saying come to life again. We have a beautiful rotation. I don't think we over-chowed on that at all. Some people might argue that with Kyler kind of chowing that guy back heady, but he had the information on him. FaZe just breaks in. They win a couple gunfights they're not supposed to. It's the effect that team has. Hydra has it, but we end up getting this scrap time, and you can see he's already green. He's in mid-tunnel making sure that we hold down those spawns for P1, which is absolutely massive. So props to Ghosty. He's having a slow map here, but
it's all good. He's
making a heads-up
the fundamental plays. Simp gets an insane kill there. Plankton on your screen. He's going to find the headshot. Like you said, I just want to echo that. You want to keep these green spawns for both P1 and P2. Obviously, P2 rotates to that bottom house. And from that green spawn, you can you have free reign in the map. You can pinch that barber side and go to the Godheady. You can hold off angles on tunnel. You, without a doubt, 100% of the time want to be controlling green. And you can also get a lot of hill time on P1 because they're force spawning tin if you're playing the map the right way, and they have to come through that mid cut,
well, they're getting
dark,
choked.
or wrap around gate.
Yeah, they have three lanes. They can either go dark, CT, which is where number 4 is right now, or they can go like taco side, P7, or they're just running through mid alley and do an absolute blend. So right here is where things start to get a little hairy. I think our stream was down at this point, but we were watching, and I was basically saying in my head, oh no, this is their chance to come back into the game. They have a full green rotation. Hill pops at 60 seconds, but pretty sure the boys end up either breaking or at least splitting some decent time here.
I mean, this is the right play. You want to go
they
back barber.
Break, yeah.
Notice what they do. They go back zig or barber side. You have your ARs post up and chow the guys on the top balcony, and your subs run up close, and they chow the close angles. That close zig cut, that close door. Then if you kill the guy top balcony, your subs can take routes top. A lot of teams set up a pinch, right? You can do 2 or 3 back barber, then 1 late pinch, either dark or, L or tunnel.
Yeah.
But right there, they opt for the 4, and it works, right? Brandon finds a big headshot to make it a 2v1 scenario. So Brandon, once again, winning a huge fight.
Brandon finds that first pick mid, and somebody from FaZe, I think OE's there, and dies before the rotation even starts, and it puts them in a numbers advantage, and they just take advantage of their 4v3 numbers right there.
This is where we were all pretty positive OpTic Texas is about to win the game.
Yes. We're watching this, streams down. We're like, okay, we win. So Ant's going to call in a cruise missile here in just a second. Again, shouts out to Ant, 24 and 13. Here comes the cruise. He's going to get a 2-piece with this through the top window. And at this point, we're like, okay, this is over, right?
Yeah.
But who is it?
It's Shotzi with the 2. And let me also say, I saw a stat from Dr. Doug Lieb on Twitter. Cruise missiles have a 17% success rate because of trophies. So think about that. Players are going on 6 sprees.
I mean, we got to highlight that.
We are stopping them. I mean, should I rewind?
Rewind. If it lags a little bit, who cares? Because we're about to move on into our next segment of the show. But
right here, you're thinking OpTic Texas have this in the bag. Abeezy's by himself. We're going to pinch him. We're going to trade him. It's a 3v1. The kid finds 4.
Look at the form on that. You can only see his shoulder for a split second. Ant said that he was trying to jump to find the angle on him, and he only sees a advertisement.
It's all right. Add 1 of 3. Once again, this won't happen again. It's our first show. Cut us some slack. In the meantime, Abeezy pops a crazy 4-piece. Obviously, one of those things that you can't really account for. That's one of those things. I mean, we're looking at birds. Go ahead. Say your fucking bird thing.
Well, I'm the biggest bird. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, we have these ads. We'll break down the final moments of this map, and then we're going to be moving on into our next segment. This is where the show starts to get a little bit, after this, it starts to get a little bit more.
The show is what we think a good bit of fun, as well as trying to provide insight and analytics. And, of course, we want criticism after the show. What did you like? Maybe what you didn't like. And, of course,
I mean, this one's a minute long.
Listen, we got some time. As the show progresses, we can remove segments, add segments, adjust segments.
Make segments longer.
This show is for your entertainment, so please, obviously, try to be constructive about it. If you don't like something, just tell us why and maybe give us some ideas, and we will adjust things as we go. But
I mean, we're super open to the criticism. Just please keep it somewhat respectful. I mean, we've been working on this for pretty much the past, month? Getting all the graphics made
officially for a month, but we've been talking about it for months.
Yeah,
because
getting all the graphics made, making sure everything works. I mean, that's why our computer exploded earlier, was because we have so many scenes and so many graphics and transitions that were put into OBS that it just blew the computer. Or it didn't blow the computer up, but it blew OBS up. So, I mean, we've been working really hard on this, guys. I hope that you guys are enjoying thus far, but the ad is about to be done, and let's jump back into the final moments of the Map 4 to propel us into winner's bracket.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could talk about Abeezy all day. Obviously, one of the best players in the world, if not what many consider the best SMG in the world. He pulls a 4-piece out of his ass, and
basically.
He extends the map longer than we thought possible. So shout out to Abizi. I mean, that's one of those players that can make a play like that, and you can't fault anybody for that. I mean,
sorry for the lag after we unpause. It's a little bit skippy, but yeah, we'll be seeing him on a breakdown team of the week. I want to say
if he slips me 5
pretty soon. Yeah, he might have to throw us a 5 gifty. 5 gifty. We might throw him on team of week.
10 gifted, he's a guarantee.
10 gifted,
5 gifted, I'll put him in the conversation. But to get back on track, OpTic, once again, they have rotation here to Barber, and this is also a rotation where next fights win, right? If OpTic lose these fights, they will spawn in Narnia, and FaZe will be in prime position to win. So this next wave of kills is imperative. And they're Shotzi.
Who other than my main man, my old sub duo, Anthony Cuevas Castro, coming in with a big old 3-piece to close out the map. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a winner's bracket berth. We'll be seeing you guys on Thursday.
I think he goes 29-14 as well.
Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And what's impressive is the pace he's setting and the type of play style he has. Like, he is constantly moving. He's not sitting on head glitches waiting for players to come to him. He is taking the fight to you in 95% of the time.
Him and Kyler. They've both been playing at an insane pace as a sub-duo. But that's going to do it for the deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed that segment, breaking down the map more analytically for you guys. Next, we're going to have to put somebody on a little bit of blast. Our next segment is Thin Ice.
Yeah. Welcome to Thin Ice.
Welcome to Thin Ice.
That's deep dive.
That's deep
Don't
dive.
worry. Thin Ice is coming.
It's coming.
Welcome to Thin Ice.
Welcome.
Yeah. So Thin Ice is a segment where, unfortunately, we have to talk about the teams who are maybe not playing so well and are on that cusp of really falling short of whether it's making champs or just playing under the level that we would expect.
Yeah.
I think this week it might be a little obvious who will be on Thin Ice, and obviously we're friends with all of them, but we got to call it how we see it. Minnesota Rocker, you are on Thin Ice.
I'm sorry, boys. We hate to do it to you guys, but 0-5 with this team, it's not something that you expect. I mean, they've been pretty good. They got top 3 at the last major, and I expect them to go to this major and potentially make a decent losers run just because I think that LAN is a completely different ballgame. We talk about it all the time. But these guys, I mean, online split, 0-5, it happens, but you don't expect it to happen to these guys.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Major 2, right, they placed top 3. They're 1 round away from placing top 2 and securing a grand final. Bance and Afro were looking like one of the best SMG duos in the game. Cammy and Attach playing great as well.
I'd say top 3. Top 3 sub-duo in the game at the major easily.
They looked unreal. Fast forward to the online qualifiers. They start off 0-1. It's like, okay, they have a bad match. They're 0-2. You're like, what's going on? Fast forward. You're 0-5, and you're not only 0-5, you lose some matches against teams that you would definitely consider Rocker favorites against, right? A team like Vegas.
They lose to Vegas 3-2. They lose to, I mean, they have a pretty hard split to be completely fair. You got to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. You'd expect them to maybe beat at least 1, maybe 2 of these teams, but they get 3-0'd by Thieves. They lose last map to Vegas. They get 3-0'd by us, 3-0'd by Seattle, and then they lose a tight 3-2 to open their split in a round 11 against New York. So you got to give them a little benefit of the doubt. But when you get 3-0'd 3 times, I mean, something is wrong. Something's going on. But let's take a deeper dive, I mean, into...
No pun intended.
Into some of their stats. Doug Lieb has provided us with some stats that we can kind of talk about. I don't want to spend too much time on this segment because, again, we're not trying to put anybody down or anything, but we do have to talk about teams when they are underperforming a little bit. And these guys went from 6-6 last stage in Search and Destroy to 0-7. We saw it with Seattle. They have a very, very rough S&D stretch throughout their second major, and they performed poorly, and now we're kind of seeing the same thing with Minnesota. I mean, talk to me a little bit about it.
You got to win your searches, right? I think Seattle was the best example. To go from 6-6 to 0-7, I mean, S&D for a team like this is kind of like your lifeline. Mm-hmm. Also their control. Like, that is what you kind of need to rely on. So to be 0-7, I'm not surprised to see a 0-5 record with a 0-7 search map count.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Bance and Afro because I think if you look at Major 2 and Stage 2, these two are playing in tandem. They're bouncing off one another. They're both playing incredibly well. Now they look like a completely different duo. Afro is showing signs of life. I think Bance hasn't had the best stage personally. But these two go from, in my opinion, top 3 sub-duo to one of the bottom sub-duos, unfortunately. And I hate to say it because I do think both these players, of course, have the ceiling and potential to be some of the best. But right now, they're not putting it together. And my biggest worry is the confidence level, right? You're 0-5. You're going into a major and losers bracket. We're at the point now where if they come out and they get first rounded, talk to me about that mindset and what you think they do.
So I know a lot of people in the community are probably going to call for people's heads on spikes, people to get dropped, people to get replaced. I think you give this team, even if they get first round at this major, I think you give them the next split. So I'm not exactly sure when the roster cutoff period is for champs, but this team is in a comfortable position. They have 110 points right now. It's not like they're sitting there, in a bad spot for champs. They still have time to make champs. I think they're still going to make champs. I think that they just had a really rough stage online. I think that they're going to go back, look at some of these things, tweak some things, and come back a lot stronger during the next stage. Maybe they just need a little bit of a break. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that you make a change on this team. I think that we've seen their potential at the major. They got top 3 last major. I mean, people were calling for changes on Seattle as well. They got second, and then they have a bad online split. And now they're doing good again.
I have a big gripe about sort of the new community mindset on teams and how people just jump to conclusions and want to change rosters. I'm a big fan of having trust in your teammates and working through these hard times. I use Thieves as an example a lot in Vanguard. They win back-to-back tournaments to end the year. They're world champions.
And they started off
and they started off terribly. I understand it's kind of an outlier because that roster on paper is one of the best rosters ever assembled.
Yeah.
But Seattle's a great example, right? People are saying Seattle needs to change, and now we're looking at the Seattle we're used to. So I think
now they're 4-1 with the number 2 seed going into the major. So you got to give these teams some time sometimes.
Listen, man, and I know it's tough and it's exciting to see roster changes, but looking at their roster, they have a very capable roster. I would tell you right now if I think they had a weakness or a player who wasn't as good as the other. I mean, they have a great leader in Bance. They have a good AR and attach. Cammy obviously has potential to be one of the best in the world. I would like to see a little more from him. He's one of my good friends, and I'll say that to him personally. I mean, we
might see them tonight. Yeah. Potentially.
Yeah, so he's one of those players
hopefully they don't watch this segment.
Yeah, I expect a lot of. And Afro, we actually passed him in the street yesterday. He was smiling, so I looked at him. I said, "Why the fuck are you smiling? You're 0-5."
We were walking to dinner after we did our first, I guess it was our first run through, and we're walking down the street, and Afro's just walking by.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. We see some people down here sometimes.
But listen, I think this team can turn it around. I just don't know if they'll do it in the short term. So worst comes to worst, let's say they bottle the major. I am a fan of this team sticking and having a team talk, whatever you need to do. Reset, stage 2 never happened, or stage 3, get back to work, and we'll see you in stage 4. If things go sour.
Yeah, I think that's really all it boils down to. I think this team has potential. We can dive into a couple more of their stats. During stage 2, they were 6-3 in controls. They were 8-0 on a silo control throughout the first 2 majors, but haven't played it. 7-1 with the SAE. But now they're starting to struggle in it a little bit more. And, whenever you fall off in a game mode, they're 1-4 in it now in this stage. It just becomes so hard. You're 0-7 in search. You're 1-4 in control. They're 3-4 in hardpoint. I mean, where are the map wins coming from? They're not. That's just really...
That's the problem. They are not winning any maps, meaning they are not winning series, thus 0 wins in stage 3.
Yeah. And I think we can kind of move on from this topic. They're on thin ice this week. I think that they definitely have the potential to turn it around. They have an overall team KD of a .97 as well, which is interesting for going 0-5. You'd think that they would just be getting absolutely smoked, but they're still close to that 1, which is weird.
We talked about the 0-7 search record in stage 3. They're also on a 10 S&D loss streak, so they are getting close to maybe setting the record for most consecutive losses, whereas FaZe just set the record for most consecutive search wins. So
some go down, some come up. That's how it goes. I have a lot of faith in this. I have a lot of faith in this Rocker team. If you guys are listening right now, I got hella faith in you guys.
And you will buy me drinks.
And yes, you will buy drinks. But sure. I think that they got a lot of potential in that team, and I think they can turn it around. So let's not be too harsh on them.
They're playing like my ass.
They're playing like my hairy ass.
They're playing like my ass, but they have potential to not play like my ass.
But they're on thin ice for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to more of a lighthearted segment. This one's going to be quick.
You're about to get smoked.
This one is a game show inside of a game show. We've got rapid fire. Basically, we have 1 minute on the clock for each of us. We've got 10 questions that we're going to be reading off to each other. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is probably not for this one since it's our first show. Or we could put something on this if you want.
There is a punishment if you lose, and we've discussed some of the punishments and what will happen if you lose, and you don't want to lose. We'll share those with you, obviously, as the show goes on. But like you said, 60-second timer, 10 questions each, rapid-fire questions. Loser will suffer a challenge that will be announced at some point. And you want to get smoked first? You want to ask me first?
I want to ask you first. I want to put the pressure on you. So after this segment, guys, I'm just going to set the the tone a little bit. We have my personal favorite segment.
Yeah. I think you guys are going to like the next segment. But ask me the questions now so I can
you don't need
smack
to tell
that
them right
ass. They'll see.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Rod, start that timer right whenever I say the first word. All right. What is the most viewed video on my YouTube channel?
Yours?
Yes.
Sweat Bannon.
Make up the rest of this Gfinity roster. Jerd, Swanee.
What?
Gfinity 3. Jerd, Swanee. You can pass it if you want.
Pass.
Who won COD Champs in 2014? Every player on the team, not the team name.
What?
Come on. You're on the hot seat.
Aches, Crim.
Don't choke.
Karma. Clay?
What?
Aches, Crim, Karma, Clay?
Nope, wrong. What month/year did we move into the original hex quarters? That's a hard one.
What am I, a fucking dictionary?
That is a hard one.
Dude, what?
You can pass it.
No, it's
You can pass it.
July 2018.
Nope. It was close. Name the top 5 most winningest CDL players.
Dude, what? Crim, Scump, Clay, JCap.
No,
not JCap. Karma, Formal.
Yes. What is the capital of Texas?
5 seconds.
Shit! Houston, Dallas.
Wrong.
Fuck!
You got 2 right, you absolute moron.
Dude, these questions, you're asking me
Holy
full
shit.
rosters from 2014? Full.
Wait,
Nah.
don't let me see them. Don't let me see those.
Okay.
Don't let me see those.
That is horse
All
shit.
right, let me move over. Or can I move? Where's the camera? Can I move over a little bit so I
Yeah,
don't see
here
it?
we go.
All right, here we go. Push that a little bit ahead.
This is you set this up for him
And it's 50 gifted. Whoever wins.
No,
it's
no,
50 gifted.
No. Let me just say the producers picked these questions. Oh my God! You literally gifted him a win. I can't fucking believe this.
And you'll be gifting 50 after
No.
this. Let's go. Run it.
Okay.
Right when he says the first word.
3, 2, 1, go.
How many episodes of Vision are there?
100?
Incorrect. What was the longest streak of consecutive events for the OpTic dynasty?
4.
Incorrect.
5?
Incorrect.
What the fuck? We won 6 in a row?
Oh my God. Who/where was the last gunfight you had in your career? Person, map, and location.
My last gunfight?
Yes.
You?
Wrong.
Jesus, these are hard. How am I supposed to remember that?
How many main COD titles are there?
11.
So wrong. How many How many subscribers does Methodz YouTube channel have?
Dude, these are impossible. 70K.
Nope. Under. What map is in the intro of the breakdown?
15 seconds.
Oh my God, Asilo?
Nope. What?
Dude, I'm about to drop a goose egg.
What OpTic teaser did Methodz say in his retirement speech?
The future's green.
Yes. What is Buzz's birthday?
January 19th.
Wrong. What? Wow.
What is it? 11th?
Name. Winner.
This is bullshit.
I'll enjoy
Those
that.
questions were insane.
I'll enjoy that 50 gifted. So Buzz's
Nah,
birthday.
that was a joke.
Buzz's birthday is insane. It's January 17th.
Fuck.
So I hope Iz was
Did you
watching.
just wink at me?
No. Dude, they've been telling me I blink a lot.
Dude.
I
can't believe you got 2. I could not believe I just choked.
Good game. Shake that hand. I'll take that 50 gifted. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
56,000 YouTube subscribers. You won 6 events in the OpTic dynasty.
In a row?
Yes. You said 100 episodes for Vision. The
We won
answer.
6 straight?
I'm talking, you prick.
I'll
said
fucking give you one of these
in game.
in real life.
I asked you how many episodes of Vision there are. You said 100. The answer was 99.
That counts.
No, it does not.
That's insane.
And your last gunfight was Mercado B-Bomb versus Awakening, my duo Big Joe.
oh my God, how do I not remember that?
Hold that.
All right, you win.
Yes,
Moving on,
Methodz, Winnie.
Moving on, my personal favorite segment of the show. You guys have seen it elsewhere. We've got the breakdowns, top 10 plays of the week. So just to kind of set this up a little bit, we might be missing plays from the final series of the day. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties. We tried to get
as many in as possible, and also throughout the weekend there were an insane amount of plays. These are 10 that stood out to us. I feel like these are all a solid top 10. I'm sure you guys can find a clip that maybe deserve to be in the top 10, and I feel like it'll always be that way. But these are our top 10 plays. Without further ado,
no pausing.
No pausing?
No pausing. It lags. Riley, make sure it's on 60 frames as well.
Here's Capsule. This is versus LAG, and he's got that Vaznev.
Just a quick little three-piece out of the kid. Number 10, nothing too crazy. Gonna go black screen here while we get the 60 frames queued up for you guys. Clayster, I would have loved to throw this one higher, but we don't see his POV. He pops a four-piece.
Yeah, he only gets 2 on camera. He's on a 6 spree. The old 30-year-old man, about to be 31, is still shooting, and he's doing it with the SMG. Number 8,
we got the cannon. Dylan Envoy on a little bit of Hotel Search and Destroy. Gets the stun hit marker, goes through, knows he gets the stun on the other one, recameras it, bada bing, bada boom.
The Dark Prince.
That's the cannon.
And now, number 7, we have none other. Say it.
We had to throw it in.
Shotzi with a big 3-piece today, a game-winning 3-piece to close out a winner's bracket match to guarantee winners against Atlanta FaZe.
Game-winning 3-piece against FaZe to clinch winners. That's, I mean, it speaks for itself. The top 5, we see Dan talking some shit.
Number 6.
So set the scene for this one, because people might get a little angry with this.
Listen, Florida's in prime position to win this. Joe Deceives and LAG, they're forced to fend off Florida. Somehow Joe Deceives finds this kill on a fellow. He's able to play his life, allow his teammates to come reinforce, and they force that game number 5 to keep themselves alive in the series. So maybe the clip itself, it's not the flashiest play, but the impact and what it meant and to clutch up in that moment, very important. Joe Deceives and Exceed.
The top 5 is where things get a little bit crazy. We got none other than Tej. He says, hello, Bance. Again, their S&D struggles kind of just continue here. Map 5. TJ gets a knife kill in your side, round 1, running through dubs.
Like this, man. And he's been one of the best search players in the game as well. So TJ, he's been frying in search. Some slow starts in respawn. He's eating too many insomnia cookies, but
he might be slumped.
Dude, he's eating mayo or he's doing something to start slow in respawn, but he is not starting slow in search. He starts off the round number 1 against Minnesota.
Dude, I had a sub the other day, and I felt like I couldn't fucking shoot straight.
A huge ace. And here's his twin, Cammy.
His evil twin.
Yeah, he's shooting Danny Phantom. He's shooting wind. He's not going to get any hit markers on Clayster. And TJ is going to close it out with 2 more. So an incredible way to set the precedent and set the pace. TJ Haley continues to be dominant in search.
Had to throw some love to Tej.
Of course.
Always got to throw some love to Tej.
That's a big way, a big weege because that's a big ace.
Next, coming in at number 4, again.
I mean, a beezy.
Back to Mercado. I mean, this play, this might have been number 1 if we got his POV. I mean, I don't think people understand how hard this is to do against 4 players of that caliber.
Especially to keep your team alive for just a little longer. Obviously, now we know that OpTic ends up closing it out on the next hill, but OpTic should have closed it out there. BZ goes above and beyond. He goes huge, finds that 4. Number 3, I mean, this kid might be hacking.
Yeah, I mean, we see this kid walk away from his setup after this clip, and people thought that he was getting his PC checked, which, rightfully so. He finds 2 first bloods through the wall.
A 2-piece from 2 Real in some crazy fashion.
Somebody vac banned that kid.
Yeah, those lineups are sus, but they check the PCs. Number 2, I mean,
I hate to do it to the Green Wall fans. We are some of the biggest that you can find as well, but Hydra, to close out the series, he's on a 6 streak to start this clip, and he just starts running rampant in maps.
Yeah, and obviously we know how crazy this spawn trap is, and it gets even crazier when you have a player like this running around with an SMG in your base. He was on the breakdown team of the week for good reason. I mean, the kid goes above and beyond every single series. Like, I saw him negative today on a map, and it's so shocking because you're just like, what's going on? Like, the kid's having one bad map, and
he's even here. So he was 14 and 24 at this point. Yep. I mean, we say we can't really tip these defensive plays, but this one was insane. Goes on a 12 streak to end up closing out the series.
Number one.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man. This was insane.
This was insane.
Kismet.
I mean,
in 2v4 fashion, OpTic's about to tie the game 3-3. Kismet finds an insane three-piece and wins a big gunfight here onto Brandon. They were exchanging some body shots there, too, so some good body shot love there. But Kiz, I mean, you got the #1 play of the week. I mean, that was insane.
That was insane. Shouts out to Kiz. Shouts out to Hydra locking down the 1 and 2 against us. Again, sorry to do it to all the Green Wall fans, but we can't be completely biased on this show, and they had some crazy plays to round out the top 10. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that segment. My personal favorite, again, kind of hard to get all the clips. We missed a series today as well because of our technical difficulties, but I think we did a pretty solid job with what was given to us today. So
yeah, well,
our last segment of the day, we have the call of the community, ladies and gentlemen, where we kind of farm some questions from you guys on Twitter. Moving forward, we're going to have a hashtag The Breakdown. So
no, not moving forward. As of right now.
As of right now.
If you have any questions that you want to ask us regarding the CDL, game mechanics, rank play, anything and everything Call of Duty, tweet at us and use the hashtag The Breakdown so we can find it the easiest. So call of community, ask those questions. We actually have a few questions today. I tweeted last night for some questions, and here's what we got. So for question number 1, we have a question from Masculine Chair. He said, what do you think is more important for a team to think about when picking up a player, Slayer or OBJ work? And if you don't mind, I'd like to start this one off.
Yeah, go for it.
So I said it before. I think if you were to compare, let's say, two challenger level players, you have a player who's consistently winning, doing OBJ work and playing well, and you have a player who's placing second, but he's flashy and he's dropping numbers every single game. In this current climate, that player who's flashier and dropping more kills will get the chance in this day and age. Everybody's looking for that next pop-off level Slayer, that player who can go above and beyond. Go ahead.
I want to make a point with what you're saying because it's not entirely true. One of the most recent pickups in the league, Hixie, kind of goes against what you're saying. Hixie
a little different because he was their substitute player, but I do,
but
most of the time,
not a flashy player.
Listen, most
dirty
of the
work.
time,
okay.
Most of the time, the player who looks flashier is getting sniper 2 pieces. Yeah. He's dropping 40 and he's looking cracked. We'll get the spot. Every now and then, of course, you'll see a role player get picked up, but everybody is trying to find that unknown quantity, right? I mean, you even have top challengers that used to be in the pro league, but everybody is so hyper-focused on these unknown players who could be the next Abizi or Shotzi or Simp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, people definitely are looking for those players, and they're looking to get them cheap and right whenever they're coming up. But what's more important to a team? I mean, it really depends on how the team's dynamic already is whenever they're coming into the team. If they don't need more slaying power, especially looking at a team like Toronto where you really don't, I mean, you have Scrappy, you have Kleenex, both insane slayers whenever they're set up to be. And then you have Jamie. I mean, he's kind of like one of the more slower ARs, but he can still dish it. He's a great surge player. So bringing in Hixie for that team makes sense because they don't really need help in the slaying area. They needed help in making Toby, making Scrap, making their star players feel more comfortable on the map, and we see it work out. So
let me also
it really just depends on what they're coming into.
Objective has a whole new meaning now, whereas in OG Call of Duties years ago, you could run different perks, right? Marathon, lightweight, and you're grabbing capture the flags, and you're hopping more domination points, or you're sneaking in blitz. Nowadays, OBJ work is more so hopping the hill or hopping on a control point, and you could, I'll say, very easily tell a top slayer to hop the hill more or get on a control point more. So the word OBJ has taken a turn as the Call of Duties have developed. So I would say a nice mixture of both. I think teams will value a slayer that they can sort of turn into more of a hill player or hop in the control points. Very situational, but you could make a slayer into a hill player.
Yeah, of course. I think that pretty much answers that question. I think we hopefully it answered that question for you. Thank you very much for the question again. Hashtag The Breakdown if you guys want to be featured on the show. I don't know if we're doing one next week. We kind of still have to figure that out with the major. We'll talk. But question number 2. Why do you and Scump say grade A bang out every 12 seconds? Dude, I mean, when it's a grade A, it's a grade A. There's really no explanation needed.
If you see a grade A, you got to call it how you see it. And if we see a grade A, we have no point no choice but to say, ladies and gentlemen, we're witnessing a grade A bang out. Can you tell the people at home who aren't familiar what a grade A bang out is necessarily?
I mean, if you need an example, go watch the end of that OpTic versus FaZe map 1. That is a grade A bang out, ladies and gentlemen, and I love them. We all love them. When we get a grade A, everybody's smiling and everyone has a good day. Next question.
We have the OpTic Texas Major coming up, and we're expecting plenty of
grade A bangouts. We will receive them, I am sure. Question number 3. Do you think red dots on the minimap can make this game a bit better overall?
Oh, baby. You want to open this can of worms?
I think he wants to open it. Big J.
Can I answer for both of us? Would that be all right? And if you disagree or want to add anything, of course.
I mean, I'd like to give some input, but
no, but you know what I mean.
Take that floor.
Saying, I think we echo the same opinion when I say the fact that we're playing a game with no red dots is nothing but unacceptable. Sure. I mean, we're talking about a key component to Call of Duty that should never be removed, especially at the highest level.
Some might say a staple.
It is definitely a staple. It's one of those things where we say it a lot, but these games are sort of becoming more and more catered to the casual audience who, I would say, like my grandfather, when he gets home from when he gets home from work, he wants to play some Call of Duty and he wants to sit in a corner and the game's easy for him and they don't want to run him away from the game. So by adding these loud sound cues and removing the minimap, what it does at the highest level, the competitive level, is
makes it cheesy.
It makes the skill gap a lot less a lot smaller than it should be. Correct. Because when it comes to being a pro, one of the most important things, and it has always been, is your in-game intuition, your awareness on the map, knowing where to look and when, your spawn awareness, the timing of spawns. Your spawn awareness. There are certain things that made the best players in the world, and now the competition is as close as ever. Yeah. Partly because, I would say, of the game, and partly because, I mean, we just have a very S-tier level league.
Yeah. I think it's absolute cheese. They need to be implemented, and if they don't, then it's just it's hurting everybody that loves competitive COD. I also think that it hurts the casual audience as well. I think red dots are a staple in Call of Duty. I don't know where they went. If you're sick of them, throw on a fucking silencer. Moving on.
Yes.
Next question. You can read this one.
Okay. This comes from Elliot Payton. Elliot Payton. Sorry if I butcher that. Not a question, but when we're seeing bottom teams win maps, they shouldn't be. We have to start questioning if it's the game or the actual skill. So that kind of ties in to what we just said. I'll let you answer first.
I would say it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's the game mostly, but the game makes that actual skill lower. So again, we talk about that skill gap, and the game itself is making it smaller, which makes the wins less impressive because the skill gap is smaller. So it's like when you see an upset in this game, you got to tip the hat to the underdog team, but also this is, again, the most day-to-day Call of Duty that I've ever personally watched and ever personally played, being a professional for the short time that I was.
Yeah.
You don't come into every series on your P's and Q's. You could lose to anybody in the league. And in other games, take AW, for instance, you didn't see a lot of upsets. And some of the higher skill gap games, you just didn't see them. So I think it's a mixture of both, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to add. It's definitely, we touched about it, right? The sound cues and the no red dots. It is very tough for the, I guess, quote-unquote, better team to be far and away the better team like we used to see in the past. But it's also, the players are putting in more time than ever. I mean, each team is on a pretty insane scrim schedule. Yeah. They're watching film, they're watching VOD. So it's a mix of the players being great and putting in that time, but also the top teams are winning by smaller margins because, spawn points and everything we've named. So I think a mixture of both is the best answer to your question.
Yeah, thank you for the question. And last but not least, last question of the show. Alec asked, how do I get like you? And this was to you, so I'm going to let you answer this to cap us off here.
I mean, if you want to be a one-time Major LAN champion and do it in style, you probably got to go back in time at a time machine and maybe win a bit less. Currently, just retire and come join the boys in the content grind.
Absolutely.
And I love watching that kid do interviews, man. Shout out to Alec.
I love Alec, man. Alec's the absolute man. Can I get a Wallach spam in the chat? Ladies and gentlemen, that is our first ever show of the breakdown. Can I get your opinions, ladies and gentlemen? How'd you guys like the first show? We were very nervous coming into it. Again, we're going to be taking a lot of your guys' constructive criticism. We're going to be making some segments longer, removing segments, coming up with new segments. Really, this has been a work in progress for us for about a month.
They love it.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of love, a lot of W spam in the chat. Yo, thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your evening. And you've just watched a full-on breakdown.
Thank you guys for watching, guys.